Okay, welcome to Intro to Web Development Part 2. Let's see, no, I can't change that. Okay, again, if you have any questions at all, contact me at Mr. C at mrcscience.com. We're going to use these URLs, which are on mrcscience.com/videos under the computer science, along with the link to these videos. So we're going to use those today. We talked about image. Let's go and create a new HTML document called position. Name it position.html. So in this, I'm going to create a div tag, just kind of as a holder. Opening and closing div. That just makes sure there's a line break before and there's a line break after. And here I'm going to put an image. Source equals. So I'm going to go get the source for JPEG 1 JPEG, and I'm going to paste it in there. Okay, and I'm going to add some style to it, so I'm going to add an ID equals of image 1 like we did in our last video. Okay, if you save that and view it, ignore what you see here because I have had to restart this video. You've seen this before. That image appears up there. If we add text after the image, this is text that really doesn't say anything important. Okay. So just as a refresh from before, it just follows in line with that image right now. So, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to play with the styles on this new image. So I'm going to create some inline styles again. So create an opening and closing style tag inside your body tag. Okay, and here I'm going to add pound image 1 to go after our ID of image 1 there with curly braces. Everything inside the curly braces will be used, or will be applied to that image. So I'm going to add a new attribute called position. Okay, position. First one is its default, position static. Position static just means act like a normal image. Go where you put it. This is really only useful if you change this position dynamically with, say, JavaScript or something like that, and you want to put it back to normal. We're not even going to look at that because it won't look any difference. Next one we're going to look at is position relative. Position relative positions it relative to where it normally would appear. So there's a couple attributes that we add to move it around. If we add left, let's say left 100 pixels, that means move it 100 pixels from the left. So add 100 pixels to the left of this image. And if we add top, let's say 200 pixels, it'll say add, drop it 200 pixels from the top. There we go. If I save this and view it, you'll see something kind of interesting happen. Okay, it drops down 200 pixels from the top, 100 pixels from the left. Interesting thing is it overwrites the text. The text did not move. It stayed where it should normally be. And it's actually right over the top of the text. Not very useful if you think about it, but it has its interesting uses. Whatever you've done the position does comes to the forefront. So let's show a little more useful way to do this. So I'm going to comment out my position top and left there. I'm going to go up to my text and I'm going to add a div around it. Div, and I'm going to give this div an ID of text. So I'm going to add it around the text itself. Now let's save that and view it, and nothing much has changed except for we put the image back. But now that div make sure there's a line break before the beginning of it, so the text drops underneath the image like this. Now I'm going to show you something kind of interesting with this. So let's go down here and let's target our ID of text. Oops, why did I write ID? Our ID of text. Okay. And here I'm going to add position relative. Then I'm going to add a little left. I'm going to add about 10 pixels to the left. I'm going to move it over to the right 10 pixels. And then top, here's an interesting thing you can do. I'm going to do negative 100 pixels. So I'm going to subtract 100 pixels from the top. And then I'm going to add some color to the font. We're going to make the font white. Okay. Go ahead and do that, save it, and let's go view what we've done. Shift refresh. Now the text has, since it's got the position, it came to the forefront, it went over the picture and it's white so you can read it. This can be, you can see some interesting uses for this in your designs, things like that. So kind of a cool way to do that. So that is position relative. So I'm going to wipe out all my stuff in my pound text. I'm going to get, oops, position. Gonna get rid of my comments. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the next position. Position fixed. Okay. In order to see what this position fixed does, we have to be able to scroll our page. So our ID of text, I'm going to add a height of, let's say, 1,000 pixels. I'm going to make that div 1,000 pixels high. Why I'm doing that is I want scroll bars to appear on the page. So if we go and refresh, oops, yeah, there we go. So now it's fixed. It's got the 200 top, 100 to the left. But now you got this scroll bar over here. Watch what happens as I scroll. The image stays where it is. Fixed means leave it right where it is. Don't allow it to scroll. Not many uses for this, but there could be interesting times so you can use that. So that's an interesting attribute. So okay. So now let's talk about the next one. Position absolute. This is the one you're gonna, or actually, you'll probably use relative in your homework. Position absolute. Relative to its ancestor. So if I save it, and I go in here and shift refresh, okay, now it seems a lot like relative. The only difference is this is relative to this div tag that surrounds it. If I move this div tag, this is going to move along with it, so it's going to change its position. So not a lot, probably what you'll mainly use is relative, and that's what you'll be using for the homework. Let's show you how we're going to do the homework. So I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of my div, and I'm going to add a second image tag. src equals, and we're going to give this one an ID of image 2. Okay, let's go get our source. So this is on the website, but you want the source for 2.jpg. Okay, oh, I don't know where I'm going. There we go. So I'm going to add that to the source. I'm going to, right now I'm going to comment out, oops, not 3, 2. If you put 3, it doesn't matter, it'll just recognize the 2 and think the third one's part of the comment. But I'm just going to comment out my styles there. So if I'm going to go here and shift refresh the text to go away, and now we should have 2 images. There's one, there's the other one. Loading it offline, they're kind of big, so it takes some time. So we got a second image. I don't want 2. Yeah, I don't want image 2, sorry. Let's go back to here. I want to use image 3, so I'm going to go back Or is it 5? No, I think it's image 5. I want image 5. I'll show you why in a second. So I'm going to grab image 5. I'm going to go back to my position. I'm going to replace my second image tag with the image 5 source. I'm going to change its ID to image 5 so I know which one I'm playing with. Now let's go and refresh. Gotta wait for him to load. There we go. Now if you look at this image 5, this is actually has part of this image. You'll notice this little blue train, so this image kind of lives down here. So what I want to do is I want to put this image over this image and match them up. So in order to do that, I'm going to have to go down and I'm going to have to go to the left. So let's take our image 5. In fact, I'm just going to use this. Image 1 is going to kind of stay where it is. I'm going to change that to image 5. I'm going to do position absolute. Now left, it has to go negative, and quite a bit. I'm going to see what negative 100 does. It probably has to go further left. And top, let's see where, I think 200 is too high. Let's go down 100 here as well. Oops, not 1,200. Lost my colon, delete, and 100. Okay, there we go. Let's save it. And let's, oops, I think I just opened Adobe Illustrator. Refresh. Okay, so way too far to the left. And look here and here, not far enough down. So we're going to drop our left to about 50, about half that. Oops, not 150. And we're going to drop down another 50, so 150 there. Okay, let's refresh. Why didn't it move further this way? Oh, probably because I didn't go... Oh, because negative is relative. I forgot about this. If you use absolute, it's relative to where it was. If you use relative, it's relative to the corner of the tag here. So it's relative to there. So I don't need to go that far back. Oh, there goes Adobe Illustrator. Close. There we go. So that was my mistake. We don't want a negative, we want a positive. Left. And a lot of this is trial and error, but so there, we're starting to come a little closer together. There's my, is that my green? No, that's a different green. So we're going to drop her down, we're going to move her to the left, and we're just about done here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop her down a little bit more. Let's do 80, let's move it left 140. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so we're getting closer. Here our train's almost together. Our building's kind of coming together. We gotta go, let's go left a little bit further. Let's go left 180. See what that looks like. What I'm trying to do, ooh, we're close. I'm trying to match these up exactly. And once you match them up exactly, look how we're almost matched here. Our building's almost together. Things like that. Once you match it together, it'll look like it's all just one image. Okay, your homework. If you want to get a C on your homework, match this image up exactly. So play with your left and right. If you want to get B in your homework, you have image 2, image 3. Image 2 will live here. Image 3, I believe, down here. Image 4 down here. Bring in another image. 2 or 3, 4 would be hard. Match that up. That's your B. If you want to get an A, match all 5 images. So it'll take a little work, but it shouldn't be too mentally taxing. You've got a good start here already with what's working here. If you have any questions, call me. Or not call me. Well, you can call me if you really wanted to, but the best way to get a hold of me is email. So say go to it, and we'll set something up for next week. Next week I'll look for it. Once you've got it done, if you can get it done before next Thursday, email it to me. So otherwise email it to me when you got it done, and I'll get your grade for you.